What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 73 of the CHUMPcast. We've got plenty to talk about this week with the Golden Globes, Oprah's impending presidential candidacy against The Rock, and weird movies about fish bestiality. That's right, our review for the week is Guillermo Del Toro's latest, The Shape of Water. We haven't been this excited about bestiality in weeks. If you want to support the show, you can shop through our Amazon affiliate link, thechumpcast.com/Amazon. We also have merch available through thechumpcast.com. We appreciate your reviews and subscriptions. It really does help with our exposure. So tell 10 friends. One of them is bound to listen to you for a change. Enjoy the show.
So what do you guys think of the Golden Globes?
I didn't watch them.
I thought, really, who gives a shit?
All award shows are who gives a shit, except for the Trump Academies, obviously. Those are.
Funny that you should mention that, Brick, because we have a winner of our poll.
What? Well, I didn't see any Twitter polls go up.
I literally posted all of them over a week ago.
Oh, I'm so happy about this.
Really hope I didn't lose that one.
We got over 200 votes.
Nice.
Wow.
And Mark is the actual winner.
Get fucked, you two.
I think that Mark just picked like the most mainstream answers ever.
Coward answers.
No,
Very
a lot of
coward.
A lot of the ones I won, I was really surprised by. I can't believe
Can we go into a list real quick of what the hell? Also,
go through them. Say the winners of each one, because the Baywatch firewater scene, I was surprised that was that close. I think I lost by like 1 percentage point.
That was a tie.
It was a tie?
Tie, yes.
Wow.
All right, so best action set piece. Mark, you picked John Wick 2, The Catacombs. The worst action set piece was Tom Cruise and The Mummy. Mark, you also picked that.
Boom.
Best CGI was my pick, The Last Jedi Lightspeed Crash.
That's an obvious one.
The worst CGI, like we said, is a tie between Henry Cavill's mustache and the Baywatch scene.
I got smoked.
The death that hurt the most, Brick, you won this one. And I think this is the largest margin victory with Logan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The most overrated, I won for Big Little Lies because that show fucking sucks. Underrated is Mark again with Blade Runner.
Yes.
Best original property is Mark with Baby Driver.
Yep. You fucked.
The movie that no one asked for, we all tied.
I guess
it was a 3-way tie.
How many votes were there?
No one. No votes.
There were very few votes on that, but the surprise performance, I won this with James McAvoy in Split. The biggest badass not named The Rock, Mark, you won that with Millie Bobby Brown. The best up-and-comer, Mark, you won again with Bill Skarsgård. The biggest disappointment, Brick, you won for Battlefront 2.
Excellent. Biggest disappointment.
So,
that's what I'm talking about.
You're all over that disappointment stuff.
Yep.
Brick and I were very close in the end. Mark ran away with it, separated by only 2 votes. Next week, we will be getting a review on Jeepers Creepers 3
from you,
from Brick.
Okay. What was the? Can I get the stats on these? I need some.
I'll send you. I have a full Excel sheet for it.
You need confirmation?
That's in confirmation. Also, I didn't realize that I wasn't tagged in any of these, so I didn't get.
Yeah, you're not just gonna succumb to watching Jeepers Creepers 3 without.
I put up a flag.
Mercilessly.
I got people with pitchforks and protesters outside waiting.
I think those protesters would want to hear you most describe Jeepers Creepers 3.
This is what we should do for this. We should go get Jeepers Creepers 3. I think they have it on Redbox or whatever. We should all sit down here, and me and you, Ryan, will start watching it with Brick. And once it gets so terrible, we'll get up and go to the bar and make Brick sit here and watch it.
And then I'll finish it up. Okay.
We should do over-under on that, and I think it's about 2.5 minutes.
Stay here all alone, Jeepers Creepers. I'm into it.
You're going to be scared.
I'm a Jeepers Creepers fan, so who's the real loser?
I did not mind the first one.
Me, damn it.
The second one sucked, though.
Yeah, nobody asked for a third one of these. That also could have won our category of movies that no one asked for ever.
Didn't it just go straight to DVD?
Probably,
Blu-ray?
And the director was that diddler guy.
Oh, yeah. Every episode, we always somehow bring up diddlers, and it's always you.
We do a movie podcast. All these people in Hollywood are diddlers. What do you want me to do about it?
All right, I guess
it's not like I'm making them diddle.
The time is now to not brush them under the rug anymore either. We need to
just wait until we get into fish diddling.
Oh God.
You mentioned the Golden Globes though. It was kind of heavy subject matter this year for obvious reasons. Everybody was wearing black. It was kind of weird to watch.
Yeah, the one person I feel bad for was actually the director that won Best Director.
That was Guillermo Del Toro.
It was so poorly timed because it was right after that mega Oprah speech, like, you guys will not be hiding anymore.
Wait, what happened?
Oprah gave this super empowered speech.
And it was like 10 minutes long, and it looked like it was going to cut out like twice. And then it just like kept going. And then she got,
what was it about? Just
ovations.
the situation of
Hollywood
presidency and all that?
Power in Hollywood, and no, they can't hide anymore. And we see you in women empowerment and stuff like that.
Okay.
The next category after that was Best Director. And Natalie Portman and some other guy were on stage. I think it was Hugh, the British guy, Hugh
Grant.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant.
It might not have
I
been
didn't
him.
even pay attention to him.
It might not have been him. Anyway, they announced Natalie Portman goes, and for the winner or for the nominees of Best Director, the all male nominees are, and then it panned to like every director, and every director was like, ooh, they're like smiling, but they're like, I don't want to win this award anymore. This is like brutal. And then Guillermo Del Toro went up there. He won for Shape of Water. He won the award for Best Director. And after they gave him like a minute, and then they started like hurrying him off the stage. They gave him the wrap it up box, and he's like, all right, it's been 25 years. Like, give me a minute here. I can't even say thank you yet. And then they cut it off. But like,
that's kind of a shitty. I understand the point that she was making, but you're basically putting all these guys on blast, and it's not their fault.
They just got nominated.
Yeah.
Like, they made great art, and now you're like kind of belittling them just because because Hollywood didn't nominate a female director.
Natalie Portman, how about you direct a fucking movie if you're so pissed off about it?
Yeah, I understand the whole point of it is like women not being able to get jobs as directors or whatever, or like they're trying to get more women into directing.
I'm not going to speak on their behalf, but I don't know how necessarily true that is. You know,
I have no idea. I mean,
I don't know.
People, you could argue that Lady Bird got snubbed and should have been in that, but
after seeing The Shape of Water, I thought it was directed magnificently. I thought it was awesome and creative and similar to, we'll get into it later, but I just thought that was like a shitty part. It didn't mean to, I just felt bad for Guillermo del Toro for kind of getting the short end of the stick on that one.
I don't really know where we're going to go from here. I guess we can go back to the Oprah thing.
Yeah, Oprah's the next president, right? If it's going to be Oprah versus The Rock, it's going to be, first of all,
it will be the highest voter turnout ever
of all time, and it would be the most polite political election of all time.
Who do you imagine? So we have a war brewing, and everybody has to pick a side. The followers of The Rock and the followers of Oprah are going to battle it out. Who wins?
The Rock followers.
Bullshit. It's Oprah all day. Think about all the crazy middle-aged moms.
They would just roll up in all the cars that they had as if they were chariots and just run over all the people that were The Rock fans.
So many minivans.
So many minivans.
Minivans everywhere. Who would run with Oprah?
Beyonce?
Hillary Clinton?
Stedman? Isn't that like her longtime boyfriend name or whatever? Gail, her best friend?
I have no idea.
The only reason I know who these people are is because people joke about like her being their master.
Oprah?
Yeah. She basically leads a cult, right?
I'm sure she's part of some really like low-key underground fucked up society.
Illuminati, man.
Something like
that. How about Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Taco Bell joking around with the Illuminati. Suddenly Taco Bell's going to go out of business immediately.
Charlie Daniels did not like that. Did you see that on Twitter?
I did, which is hilarious.
Nobody's heard from Charlie Daniels in 40 years.
Explain to the viewers.
I'm going to find the exact verbiage of this. Dude, he tweets a lot. Benghazi ain't going away. This guy seems like the guy that you don't want to have at your Thanksgiving dinner.
Or do want, so everyone gets distracted by him and you can just slip away and take a nap after that comatose sits in. Is that a word?
Dude, he tweets. There we go. Hey, Taco Bell. The Illuminati is not a frivolous subject.
Taco Bell is scared, dude.
First of all, Charlie Daniels tweets entirely too many times. I had to go through about 150 tweets, and he tweeted this less than a week ago.
That's the beauty of Twitter.
Yeah, but
you got a lot to say. If you can either follow me or not, you're just throw it to the wayside.
I think this is great because it's between two tweets about the national championship, the football national championship.
Amazing. Go ahead.
Where's he from?
He's got to be a Georgia fan. Yeah, based on his tweets, I'm gonna go with Georgia fan. But just a ridiculous old man tweeting about the Illuminati because of a Taco Bell commercial. 5 years ago, this is shit that nobody would have ever thought would be happening. It just makes me happy on the inside.
That our society is going to trash.
Shout out to you, Charlie Daniels. The devil did go down to Georgia, and he got some Taco Bell stackers.
Taco Bell stacker. What is a Taco Bell stacker, Brick?
It's a shitty quesadilla that they just decided to fold for you and then make you pay money.
Stack it on some shit.
I'd love to be in the war room for that one. All right, we need a new item for Taco Bell. Well, I fold my quesadilla like a sandwich. Genius.
Take the shit that we already make and fold it in two.
Bob does origami. This is how we got it.
The day they make cheesy gordita crunches $1, the world will implode.
They should just do that for one day. See how many they can sell.
Like the McDonald's burger or the McDonald's tax day. Like cheesy gordita crunches.
So good.
How many do you think you could eat in one sitting?
Cheesy gordita crunches?
Yeah. Gun to your head, like you have to eat as many as you can.
Like I'm hungry? Yeah. Well, I couldn't right now because I just had Chipotle. I would eat, if I was really hungry, probably 7.
Jesus.
I could eat 7 cheesy gordita crunches.
I think so.
Not like happily. I wouldn't be like, oh, I can't wait to put on these 7. Or maybe I would, you know? It depends on the mood. But I could take down 7.
I don't know. 8 just seemed like a ridiculous number of cheesy gordita crunches, so I had to go with 7.
So Oprah at the Golden Globes, apparently this speech was so great that everyone is now saying that she needs to run for president. First of all, that is a very bad idea.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Who
would oppose The Rock?
I still
Oprah.
don't necessarily believe that The Rock is going to run for president.
He said he was. The Rock is the man of his word. When has he not been a man of his word? We can't give an example.
He was pretty hilarious the other day on Instagram. LeBron posted an Instagram photo.
Sheesh.
Did you see it?
No.
He posted an Instagram photo of this guy just outside the store looking in. I don't know if it was his security or something. He looked like that older Rock with the turtleneck and the chain.
Amazing.
And he wasn't wearing the fanny pack, but he looked kind of like him. And he's like, "Hey, Rock, is this the younger you traveling like back?" I don't know what he said, like traveling back in time. And The Rock did this whole thing of how like that was him, and he talked about like his past on how everyone when he was growing up thought he was an undercover cop because he looked 15 years older than how old he really was.
Everybody remembers the first guy like in your group of friends in grade school to get like armpit hair and a mustache.
The Rock was just the Hawaiian version of that.
Yeah, can you imagine it was just a gigantic man named The Rock whose dad was a wrestler?
Yeah, I don't know if they called him The Rock back then or what
when
if they did.
When do you think he got that nickname? Do you think it was pre-wrestling?
It could have been. He could have got that in high school. I think so.
What was his first wrestling name? Was it The Rock or was it like the Flying Hawaiian or something?
I have no idea. I'm not real up to date on my WWF.
That wouldn't be up to date.
Let me actually just read what he posted. So The Rock said, "My response to King James, since he knows I possess a hot tub time machine. Man, I was patiently waiting for you to finish shopping because we got to go back to high school." That's him talking about this kid waiting outside the store. "We got to go back to high school in my time machine. First, we go back to St. Vincent's High in Akron so I can watch you be a badass is arguably the greatest high school prospect of all time. Loved and adored by everyone. Then we go back to McGovick High in Nashville. When I was 15, we moved from Hawaii to Nashville, where I was hanging out in dive bars and buying stolen cars from crackheads. True story. I had no friends in high school because all the kids thought I was an undercover cop and nobody talked to me because I looked like I was 47 years old. Another true story. Together we go back to our high school so you can enjoy the best times of your life, and then we can go back to my high school so I can stay out of dive bars and just find one good friend." Oh, that's kind of deep, dude.
That is a little too deep, actually.
Sad, too. Well, it's not sad because he's The Rock and he's
right
the best man alive.
Yeah.
He's the best man alive. And then finally he says, "I will continue to stand outside here waiting for you in my cool all black outfit with wearing my chains till you're done shopping. High school Rock."
Rock, wrap that shit up, B.
Yeah, it was TDLR. But
he only does TDLR, TLDR. TLDR posts.
I guarantee you all these celebrities, a lot of celebrities I feel like reach out to The Rock via social media. When he replies, I bet they all get really excited deep down. Given I think he follows one person on Instagram, which
Who is it?
Boss.
What is it, like the Pope?
Oh, I don't know. Hold on, I got to look that up.
It's just me.
It might be. It's either 1 or 0. I remember.
I mean, it's not. You'll never see him like looking through his Instagram feed.
Oh no, he follows more people now. 195 people.
Wow,
man, that's a very elusive, exclusive list. We got to get on that list. Yo, Rock, if you're listening, which I know you are.
100% is.
All right, so can you imagine a speech, like a debate between The Rock and Oprah on live television?
I'd want it to go one of two ways. Either be extremely polite and they'd be like, yeah, well, you know Oprah, she gives cars to 1 million people. And then you're like, oh yeah, you know The Rock, he's actually a superhuman. And like they just like compliment each other the whole time, unlike this last election. Or it's going to go completely 180 to that and then The Rock just like rock bottoms Oprah middle of the show, and then Oprah just like turns into Magneto and throws a million cars at the Rock, and the Rock dies. So those are the two options, and can't go any
No
other
middle
way.
ground there, huh?
No middle ground, 0%.
You get a car. You get a car. You get a car.
You get a car. Oh, Magneto helmet comes on, and then all these freaking Pontiac GTs are coming. I don't even know a car. Is that
Cars
even
that
a
they
car?
don't make anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know what that car is. I'm not a car guy. I'm a football guy, and I can't believe the game isn't on yet. Still.
Yeah, it's not even on, and you still can't focus on this instead of football.
Yeah. Put it on.
You might as well just leave if I do that.
No, I'm here.
Whatever. So who would win that election?
That would come down to the running mates.
I don't think so.
I don't
think
know.
so.
There was this video on Facebook of this kid claiming he was from the future, and he was like 15 years in the future and came back to this time in the present. And he said that Trump won the election again. And he said, nobody's going to take this seriously until he actually wins his second term, which will happen. He was claiming he was from the future, and people were reposting it. I think Uproxx reposted it too.
Guy sounds real stable.
Legit. It must be legit.
Doesn't he have
I'm from the future. The Patriots win 5 more Super Bowls. I know everything, guys.
But no, that could happen. I'm
One
sure
is
a
more
lot
likely
of
than the
people
other.
think there's no fucking way in hell that Trump would be president for a second term.
Yeah, well, no one thought he was going to do it for the first term in the first place.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
but doesn't he have the lowest approval rating ever?
Fake news. Everything's fake news. Nobody knows anything.
That's the thing, is even if you told him he lost the election, he'd be like, nah, not true.
He'd literally Frank Underwood it.
I don't know what that means.
In what way?
Hopefully not in those ways, but he literally.
Are you calling him a diddler? Did you just call our president a diddler?
did
Meaning
not.
he would push the running mate onto the train tracks or something and just murder someone?
No, in the last season, literally, I actually forget what happens, but he
sabotages.
He sabotaged it, but he
campaign.
tried to they tied, and it went to the vice president, and the vice president went to the vote.
He
cheesed it somehow. He cheesed it somehow.
He was
and then somehow
sabotaging
won.
the voting booths or whatever the fuck it's called.
If the Senate splits 50-50, the vice president is the tiebreaker.
And yeah, he had the vice president's balls or whatever. This goes down to diddling again. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm the one that always brings up diddling.
you do, because you brought it up again anyway.
Can we talk about Kevin Spacey for a minute? Because another big news
like we
story
always
this
do.
week was that Mark Wahlberg, for All the Money in the World, the movie coming up, where they replaced Kevin Spacey after the whole diddling thing. Apparently, people are really pissed off that Mark Wahlberg is getting paid more than his female co-star, and I'm totally blanking on her name. I'll Google this real quick. But
Is it because it's a last minute ad and you kind of need him?
well, it was for the reshoots, and he got paid like $1 million or something, and she got like a $20 per day per diem pay and nothing else.
Is it because he asked for it?
Well, yes. He kind of blackmailed these people because it was in his contract.
Sly Mark Wahlberg.
So his co-star was Michelle Williams. He got $1.5 million. She's actually been in a lot of stuff.
I know, but give me some of those, because Mark Wahlberg is Mark Wahlberg. A lot of pricks get paid more than nice people. That's actually a fact.
He got paid $1.5 million to do these reshoots. She got paid this per diem. It turns out that in Mark Wahlberg's contract, he supposedly has veto power over all of his co-stars because he's like the leading role.
Just no.
So when they fired Kevin Spacey, he said that he wasn't going to sign off on it. He would veto it unless they paid him like $1.5 million for reshoots. So that's why he got paid and Michelle Williams didn't.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like, oh, this movie doesn't have Kevin Spacey in it anymore, and now I got to do this fill-in role. This movie might suck now. Pay me at least $1 million per shoot.
Really? Because he needs more money? Like he's not a fucking billionaire?
He does have a ginormous house. Have you ever seen his house?
Isn't that why he has all that money, though? Is because he makes these power moves?
He has like a
he's an
tennis court.
asshole?
He doesn't even
Yeah.
play tennis. He has one of the biggest pools. I'm pretty sure he lives in LA.
Because of the backlash from this, he made a donation, Mark Wahlberg did, to like the Time's Up quote unquote movement. So he donated that money because people were, there's no way he would have done this. Like if it was just like a little news story and the current political climate wasn't what it was in Hollywood, 0% chance. I maintain that Mark Wahlberg is a shitbag.
I think it's a fine move that he did. I could care less if he fucking strong-armed Hollywood. Who cares?
The more offensive thing to me is that he's still doing Transformers movies.
He's still pissed off
Seriously.
about Transformers, probably. He's like, I have enough of a bad rap these last few years doing all these fucking Transformers movies. If I'm going to do another movie that I have no idea how it's going to pan out, you're fucking paying me
Giving
some
me $1
money.
million. You're
Yeah.
giving me $1 million for these shitty reshoots.
Yeah, and the reshoots too. So
Yeah.
everyone, the whole morale probably isn't there on set. You know what I mean?
It's gone.
It's gone. Nobody wants to be there. They've already been shooting this fucking movie. Everyone has the same story. They're redoing everything.
There's a big hiccup as one of their
because-
main actors has to just get kabutzed.
Yeah, because he's a diddler.
Maybe they shouldn't have fucking cast a diddler.
Whatever. Now I'm actually siding more with what Mark Wahlberg just did.
Why?
I don't
It's
know.
his name on the line. Everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, remember that
yeah.
shitty Mark Wahlberg movie? No one's going to be like, hey, remember that shitty Michelle Williams movie? No.
Yeah, because Mark Wahlberg's obviously never done a shitty movie.
Exactly.
But it still is the name. It's his name that's getting out there. That's like,
If he was worried about that, he wouldn't have done fucking Transformers Billion.
if I could be in a movie with Optimus Prime, I'm going to be in a movie with Optimus Prime.
Best Mark Wahlberg movie, go.
The other guys.
Basketball Diaries.
Four Brothers.
Four Brothers. That movie sucked.
Four Brothers was
Andre
good.
3000. I like that movie.
I like that movie.
The other guys was way better.
Did you like?
Basketball Diaries was the best of those.
Did you like Shooter?
I didn't see Shooter.
I hate.
I'm not a Mark Wahlberg fan. Can't help it. Sorry. He beat that guy almost to death with a wrench.
Yeah, he was a cocksucker when he was a teenager.
Marky Mark Psycho, you know? It is what it is. Weren't we all psychos as teenagers?
He had like a cocaine addiction when he was 15 or something. I'm pretty sure. If you Wikipedia it, he's definitely into drugs. And yes, he did beat a man half to death.
Apparently that guy's still like kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Wow, that took a dive real fast.
Yeah, what else is new?
Should we move
Have you ever
on?
had a Wahlburger?
No, I haven't.
Oh, they're great.
Can
We'll
you
leave it
only
on
get
that
that in
note.
Boston?
Yeah, they actually aren't that
In
good.
Boston?
I waited way too long for a mediocre In-N-Out type burger.
Let's just go to Aucheval.
Yeah, Aucheval is so good. Ooh, man.
All right, should we move on to our best man alive?
I'm in.
I already got rid of a few of mine because I was going to talk about Mark Wahlberg. I was going to talk about Charlie Daniels. Oh,
Those
boy.
are your worst men alive, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, Charlie Daniels, I can actually get behind that. You
Yeah.
don't fuck with the Illuminati.
Yeah. Is he like trying to get a bid into the Illuminati
Hard
by,
telling,
by
man.
like defending him?
Yeah, he's
You
trying
defended us. You
get
are
them to-
welcome into the Illuminati, Charlie
not
Davis.
murder him.
Yeah. Here's
I-
your robe.
Actually, I do want to mention one more thing about the Golden Globes. That
Yeah,
kind of,
hold on. Charlie Daniels is definitely that guy that isn't a part of the group but wants to be a part of the group
Hell
so
yeah.
badly. So he talks all serious about it and just basically sucks up to it. But he's still not going to get in. He's not going to be part of the
He's the
Illuminati.
guy who tries to associate himself in there like as a defender of the Illuminati. So
Yeah.
like maybe they'll give him a bid.
They're like, yo, you're done. You're not coming in.
Yo, Charlie Daniels, peace. We don't need your dumbass Twitter to let Taco Bell know that they made a big mistake. All right,
I don't
dog?
know.
Yeah, we'll
When
take
I'm
care of
thinking-
things on our own hands. You know, it's
when I'm thinking about joining a secret underground group, I always wonder what Charlie Daniels thinks of them.
Also, when I'm trying to join that secret underground group, the best thing you could do is tweet about it.
Obviously. All right. I did want to mention one more thing about the Golden Globes, and that was when Franco won for The Room.
oh, people were pissed off about that. Really pissed off.
I think he did a fantastic job in the room. I was watching it again the other day. Hilarious.
There's just
So,
a lot of tension probably in that theater.
Well, and then it came out supposedly that James Franco like
Beat
whipped
someone.
his dick out in front of a girl or something. I don't know. Just
Hold on, what the fuck is going on?
You can't even whip your dick out in front of people without people getting mad now. It's crazy.
No, is that serious?
yeah, I think so. He's denying it, but of course he is. I don't know if it's true or not. If that's what you're asking me.
Got it. Either everyone's a shitbag or
Yes, that's the answer. You
It's
can stop
everyone's
right
a
there.
shitbag.
Everyone is a shitbag.
Everyone's a money grubber. And it just that and then the line between both of those is like, oh yeah, we're going to the top now.
When you get money and power, you can do whatever. It's like that Tickled movie. Yes, I get to bring up Tickled again.
That we
Rich
said-
people can get away with anything.
why are all these stories coming out in such a small amount of time? I feel like in the last year, there's been the escalation of all these issues has just gone through the
effect.
roof.
Domino effect. One
Is it
thing-
Yeah, I think
because-
that's the whole point?
That
Is
the
it
whole point.
because they're all true and then things happen? Just think they'll have more recognition if they say it at this time,
I don't think
as
that's the
opposed
case.
other times where it's not a big deal, going on.
I think it's more one, strength in numbers. Like if someone comes out and says this is my story, it maybe will motivate others. And two, you get a guy like Harvey Weinstein who did it to so many women, and one of them comes forward, and then another one comes forward. Then all of the claims suddenly, I think, gain more traction. Like it's more believable.
Yeah, that's what I
If
mean.
you have people to corroborate your story. I don't know. I'm glad that it's happening. Let's get all these assholes out of Hollywood and let somebody in that doesn't diddle kids or fucking jerk off in front of women. I still don't get that. Just the allure of jerking off in front of a woman makes zero sense to me, but whatever.
I don't know. People are fucking weird.
Anyways, when Franco won, he on stage brought up Tommy Wiseau. which was awesome because Tommy Wiseau immediately went for the microphone and Franco grabs him and goes, no,
man. He was so scared of what he was going to say.
Absolutely. And it turns out what Tommy Wiseau claims he was going to say is, if a lot of people loved each other, the world would be a better place to live. See the room, have fun, and enjoy life. The American dream is alive and it's real. That is such a wholesome and positive message.
Couldn't have been said any better. Quietly.
I love this guy.
He's awesome.
He's probably a shitbag too, but I don't care.
Now tell us where the fuck you got all that money from.
Seriously, some shady dealings going on. But that is not my best man alive. But Brick, do you have one for me?
I do. I saw a video of this police officer playing against some street youths in
the Utes
in basketball at some gym, and this kid was recording it, and he does the most incredible magician's move on this kid. I posted it on our Facebook wall. And
that move, the Hot Sauce made that famous from N1 mixtape tour and shit.
But to have it
the
work,
white dude?
No, the professor's the white guy.
That's right.
They would always do like the professor versus Hot Sauce, but Hot Sauce is the one that created all these crazy ass basketball dribbling.
That's good for Hot Sauce, but to be able to do it as a police officer and just like with your like gun holster on your side, and just the way he did it was incredible. And then the kid who got worked out literally just ran out of the gym and was like, no. It was the best reaction of all time. Kudos to him for being able to do the move in the first place.
I'm pretty sure it's staged though.
Pretty strong move. No, the way that everybody reacted, I don't think
it was
so.
Too organic for it to be staged.
Yeah.
I didn't care if it was staged. They all deserve Golden Globes for Best Actor. Okay. Fact.
Stop trying to ruin it, Mark.
I don't know. Everything's fucking staged online nowadays. Everyone's just trying to make
Jimmy Kimmel playing this shit.
Yeah.
Seriously.
All right, Mark, who's your best man alive?
I got to give it to Teresa Rowley, who has been a resident of the Michigan retirement community for the last 15 years. So
Mother Teresa.
Teresa just turned 104. And the reason why I'm giving her best woman alive is, yes, because
she's alive.
She has passed a milestone. She is kicking. She's walking. She's there, and she's 104, which is great. I'm also giving it to her because she believes Diet Coke is the sole reason for her longevity. And I'm a huge, avid Diet Coke drinker, preferably Diet Pepsi, but everyone gives me shit. Kelly gives me shit because of all the chemicals, and I tell her all the time, I'm like, it's 0 calories. You don't know what it's going to do in the long term. But this lady right here, she is a prime example. She's 104, and she says,
had an argument with his wife, and this is what he's trying to.
I'm trying to make my point right now because she's
not here to argue.
Exactly. He's making a point to us.
She drinks at least 1 can of Diet Coke a day, and she's 104. So suck on that, everyone in the world that says Diet. Oh, you drink Diet Coke? I'd rather just have a regular Coke because it's real sugar. Have you ever fucking boiled Coke? It's when you boil it, it gets to be just tar. It's like syrupy tar, and that's what you're putting in your body. The only reason your stomach can digest regular Coke with the amount of sugar that's in 1 can of Coke, which is like 44 grams of sugar, the only reason you could digest it is because of, I don't know what exact ingredient. I think it's like sodium bicarbonate or some shit like that. But they put an ingredient in there so you can digest it. Otherwise, if that ingredient wasn't in there, the amount of sugar you're intaking from just 1 can of Coke, you would be throwing up profusely. I'm sorry.
Welcome to marriage, Mark. You're wrong.
I had to make my point.
Yeah, we know you did your research and your due diligence. You're wrong. Kelly's right. Peace.
I've never seen you get this passionate about anything.
Yeah. No, the amount of chemicals that's going in your body between drinking.
Who's trying to take away my Diet Coke?
Diet Coke is the shit, dude, and it deserves more respect.
You don't even like Diet Coke. You like Diet Pepsi.
I think
direct competitor.
I just think regular Coke, when like people drink a Coke a day, is the most disgusting thing
for sure. What would it take to get you to stop drinking soda altogether?
Diet soda?
Whatever your vice is. Like if it made your dick a 1/4 of a centimeter smaller every time you had one.
I would stop drinking it.
Yeah, I got some room to move.
Yeah, me too. Ryan?
Sure you do, Mark. I don't drink Coke.
You don't drink any Diet Coke?
He doesn't have any room to work with. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Not really, no. Yeah. I usually stick to water, coffee, or beer, which is a real healthy diet, I'm sure. All right, my best man alive is David Harbour. Everybody knows him as Hopper from Stranger Things. So a girl asked him on Twitter how many retweets it would take to get her, to get David Harbour into her senior photos. He said 25,000. Obviously, she gets it. Obviously, he goes and does it. But he had these caveats. He wanted a hoodie from the high school, and he wanted to, in the pictures, hold a trombone. So these hit the internet today or yesterday, and they're the best fucking pictures
And
ever.
he made her really pay him 25 grand.
No, 25,000 retweets.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't fucking listening.
Come on now.
Yeah, imagine that. David Harbour is quickly becoming like one of my favorite celebrities for doing shit like this and just
He's the
kind of
man.
speaking his mind.
Nothing is better than when a celebrity does dumb shit like that and goes out of their way to help out like these high schoolers, or like when Tom Hanks was taking all those pictures with like the super drunk guy at the diner. Nothing's that made me so happy just to see that, because the kid was passed out and was like, his friends the next morning were like, dude, we saw Tom Hanks at that diner. And he'd be like, no way, man. And there's just pictures of Tom Hanks just like fucking with him. That's like shit. Doing stuff like that as a celebrity makes my day. And I think if I was a celebrity, I would do that all the time.
You would be so jaded in like a week. You'd be like, get these peasants away from me.
How many retweets did you get?
Pick and
I
choose
don't
the
know, more than 25,000.
pro.
I think the king of that is Keanu Reeves, because you always see videos of him doing cool shit for people. I saw a picture today of like somebody pulled up next to him at a stoplight and he's on this old Triumph motorcycle and he just leans over and smiles so they can take a picture.
He's Shane Falco. He's the coolest guy ever.
Dude, I just want to be friends with him.
He was like in a pizza shop and this little girl was taking a picture with him, and he's awkwardly like smiling and like leaning away from her, but you know he's doing it on purpose to be funny. But
He's just the best.
He's a good
the man.
guy.
He looks actually pretty close to my uncle. He looks like my uncle. Like my uncle Larry looks just like Keanu Reeves.
What if
Your
your
uncle
uncle
must be
was
very
really
handsome.
Keanu
Good
Reeves?
looking dude. What?
What if he was really Keanu Reeves and you just had no idea?
I just was blown away
Like, yeah, he lives in New York and just
I could see you not paying attention enough to.
to realize my uncle is Keanu Reeves. He's like been asking me to come on the show. I'm like, yo, Uncle Reeves, I'm not gonna put you on the CHUMPS. Why would you come on the CHUMPS? You're a nobody. Just
He's just
is
trying to do
Keanu
the
Reeves.
biggest favor ever.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's a good segue into our news for the week because, Mark, we were talking earlier about the John Wick style series coming to, was it Showtime?
yeah. If it doesn't have Keanu Reeves, I'm not watching it, but I probably will watch it.
Supposedly he's going to make cameo appearances, but not necessarily be the star of the show.
I'm thinking I'm back. He
Oh
just
my
says
God.
that every
Dude,
episode.
That scene is amazing.
Sorry, I'm going to slightly go off the rails. I was watching the last 15 minutes of John Wick 2 the other day. Even though it's the most corny line ever, I just love the scene where he's in the park or whatever, and he has who's the guy that runs the safe?
Continental?
The Continental is there, and he has all those guys watching him, but he's like, if they come, I'll kill them. I'll kill them all.
Pretty amazing.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah.
God, I can't wait for
And
that.
his dog is great in that. The dog is great.
The pit bull?
Yeah, it's off leash,
Little
just
blue
following
nose
him around
pit
with
bull,
all
yeah.
those people. Yeah.
Awesome. So that show's coming. I don't really know anything else about it right now, but
You don't know who will be John Wick?
I don't think it's going to be focused on John Wick. It's just going to be set in that universe.
And that's what you wanted. We were
Yeah,
talking
I want
about that.
more about this universe. All right, let's keep going with the news, yeah?
Yep.
We got a new trailer for Red Sparrow starring Jennifer Lawrence. This actually looks pretty intriguing, and I know that the last time, I don't remember what we were talking about, but I was talking about how I'm sick of Jennifer Lawrence, and like a sucker, I'm going to go see this because it looks good. She's a Russian spy
Ooh.
who like uses her body to spy and trick people and kill people and shit. It's got Joel Edgerton in it too, and he's like a CIA operative and he's trying to turn her. So that's the plot here. It looks really well done. So excited for that. I think it's coming in March.
What was her little symbol in Hunger Games?
The
It wasn't the sparrow, was it?
2 fingers.
No, I'm saying it wasn't. Didn't she have some sort
Mockingbird.
of Mockingbird?
Mockingjay, sorry.
Whatever.
Mockingjay.
Yeah.
She's a big bird person. She's a bird lady.
Bird person.
Bird person.
All right. Lindsay Lohan is campaigning to play Barbara Gordon in Batgirl.
Nice.
Has this ever worked for anyone?
She's back.
What if
She's
she
not. She
killed
looks all
it?
fucking cracked out.
And
I
she's
don't know
back.
about that.
I did
think she
watch
just-
Mean Girls the other day. She was good in that.
Movie. That is her best movie of all time.
Is she still?
Absolutely.
I don't think she's like in rehab or anything anymore.
Just because she's not in rehab doesn't mean she doesn't look cracked out.
What do you think's going on with Amanda Bynes?
Cracked out?
Where the fuck is she?
I don't know. She's tweeting about Drake's dick somewhere.
Oh my God! One of the worst movies of all time is that Switching Goals or whatever movie with Channing Tatum. Have you ever watched that?
I have no idea what you're talking
Where
about.
where there's no women's soccer team at this college, so
She cuts her hair and
cuts
joins
her
the
hair
men.
and
Oh, I do
Amanda
know what you're
Bynes
talking about,
does.
but that's definitely not what it's called.
And she's
She's
like
the
in
man.
love with Channing
She's
Tatum.
the man. There you go.
She's the man.
Yeah, not Switching Goals.
Switching goals. What the fuck? Where did that even come from? Gambit has lost another director. Gore Verbinski is out. They're delaying this by another year. I don't think this movie is ever going to happen. I'm guessing that Disney, the whole takeover thing, probably really screwed this up. They were set to start shooting this in 2 months, and now they're just like, nope, see you, Gore.
Okay, let me just do a little dumb idea that I have, which they're going to make a million of these PUBG version games. But I played PUBG, Players Unknown Battleground, with Mark for the first time. And as we were playing, he literally shotgunned me in the back of a stairwell.
It was in the right
and
shoulder
I
blade.
died.
You didn't die. I revived you. You were
I was
struggling
shot in the
life.
face with a... Anyway, yeah, you revived me after putting me down. But I think PUBG needs to combine with Marvel and get those X-Men names going. And in those little loot crates,
Yeah.
you can like pick up...
A skin?
Not skins, but like you can be like Wolverine. And all of a sudden you're fucking Wolverine out there. And all you can do is like... Your attachments are like his little claws. And you can like run around and kill people. And you can get superhero powers within those crates rather than just like super guns. How sick would it be to be able to be Wolverine murdering people?
I think
on a murder island.
Is it just me or PUBG? It's a great concept. It's a great game. I love the third person to first person kind of back and forth thing going on. But it's shit. It's shitty. Like the way they put it together is not. They obviously don't have the money, so that has a huge thing to do with it.
They sold 3 million Xbox copies.
Well, now they have the money.
Less than a month.
Now they have the money, and they've been doing updates on every week, haven't they? To like just change things.
More or less, they've been fixing it pretty aggressively.
But yeah, I'd rather see the whole Marvel thing team up with a well-known.
I think that they have money now. You know, they could actually make something work.
I think like a Call of Duty or Battlefield will start to do something similar.
I think a lot of our games are going to this. There's a game called Paladins Underground or Paladins Battlegrounds now coming out that they're developing. It's 1 versus 100, same kind of concept, but everyone has like powers and shit. You can like kind of run around like that. But I don't know how it's going to work. But there's a bunch of developers that are already making this kind of 1 versus 100 last man alive on Murder Island concept, which is so much fun.
Wait, so I actually never finished the game of PUBG because I always die, obviously. But is the whole concept to be the winner is the last person there?
Last person alive on Murder Island. It's Hunger Games, but
Really?
in video game form. Yeah.
Why would you team? Okay, teams. It's the last team alive.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like you kill everyone and then it's just your
And
team
then it's like you versus-
staring at each other,
Exactly.
just like, all right, now what do we do?
That would be really amazing, actually, if you all of a sudden had to like turn on your teammates in the last
Like how I did,
second.
how I shot you in the back, but I acted like I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah,
What if
100% did it on purpose.
What if I really did it on purpose? Because in the end, I knew I would have to kill all my teammates.
Yeah.
And I played it off like I'm part of the team. I didn't mean to do that, you know?
I hate to interject here, but I don't give a shit about your PUBG games.
Yeah.
Because you're a noob and a loser.
I played once and it took way too long.
It's not a Mark Auska game. You need to have patience and tactical skills and good communication,
And it doesn't have Batman.
and clear mics. Yeah, clear mics. Every time we were playing with Mark, every like 3 minutes, he'd be like, "Moose, you fucking idiot dog, what are you doing?" Just like yelling. We're like, "All right, man, low comms. I hear footsteps." We're like freaking out, and then I get shot in the back because Mark's not paying attention and thinking that I'm an enemy.
Right. Anyways, Deadpool has been moved up 2 weeks to May 18th.
Wow.
And New Mutants has been pushed back to February of 2019. Oof. So this is kind of weird because this was a month or two away, and now they're pushing it back a full 10 months. So it sounds like they're going through some pretty massive rewrites, reshoots, something. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but
something's going on.
Probably doesn't bode well for that being an actual good movie.
That's a shame.
Whatever. Advanced ticket sales for Black Panther have already outpaced Civil War, so they're looking at a pretty big opening for Black Panther. I'm personally very excited for this. I love Chadwick Boseman.
I love Marvel Universe.
Is he the guy
Netflix.
from Creed?
No, that's Michael B.
He's
Jordan.
He's the main.
He looks like a Bamf. Is he gonna be he's the villain, right?
Yes.
He looks like a Bamf.
He does. He's very jacked for this role.
Mm-hmm.
He's super jacked. He has great genetics. You can just tell.
He has great hair too. Also a great name, Michael Jordan. Peace.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, you can even be Michael Jordan. All right.
Do you think that's his real name? Because he would have been named after Michael Jordan, right? He's young enough that probably.
I kind of want to know what his middle name is now. Michael Basketball Jordan.
Bang. Anyways, Tim Miller, the director of Deadpool, is reportedly developing a Kitty Pryde solo film. So Kitty Pryde, do either of you know who that is?
Nope.
From the X-Men?
Nope.
The girl who can walk through walls.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
And the Juggernaut chased her, and she was played by Ellen Page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I do. Yes.
So getting a solo movie, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really get this move. Conversely, a woman named Jack Schaefer, I think it's short for Jacqueline, she is writing a Black Widow movie. So ScarJo finally going to get that leading role in a Marvel film.
I really thought that they were going to make that Lucy movie, just a Scarlett Johansson Black Widow Origins movie. Would have been sick.
No one saw that.
I know, but I'm just saying, if they would have labeled it as a Black Widow Origins movie, everyone would have saw it.
Yeah, probably. I don't know anything about this writer. Apparently, she writes for The Blacklist. I don't know anything about that. I've never seen it.
Either have I.
Great. That's all the news I have for this week. So, shall we get into the fish porno?
I want to
that?
say, let's not call it that, but
All right, fish
Fine.
diddling.
great.
So, our movie review for the week is The Shape of Water, currently at 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, 82% from fans. Written and directed and produced by Guillermo Del Toro and Vanessa Taylor. So, Vanessa Taylor helped write it. She's famous for writing Divergent. She's currently penning the script for the live-action Aladdin remake. And she also was an executive writer and producer on seasons 2 and 3 of Game of Thrones.
Those are good seasons.
Pretty good resume. If you've seen the trailer for this is like a creature feature, right? This woman who is mute, does not speak, works in a lab. In Baltimore in the 1960s. She's like a janitor. She works with her friend Octavia Spencer, who is also a janitor. They capture this fish monster in the Amazon River, and they bring it to this facility. She falls in love with it somehow, and it's, wow, when you say it out loud, it sounds really dumb. Actually, pretty good movie, though.
You explained it extremely terribly.
Explained it better.
No, you did fine.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's not a fish creature. It's an
It's not a fish
amphibian
creature.
man.
It's like
It's an amphibian man. That's how they describe it on IMDb.
perfect. Yeah.
Well, IMDb is always right. Hey, you guys can take over hosting anytime you fucking want. All right. Anyways, Sally Hawkins plays Elisa, and we have Michael Shannon, who plays an
Eliza.
excellent villain. Whatever.
Elisa?
Michael Shannon plays an excellent villain in this.
He dominates.
Like the, I don't know, creepy underground CIA operative, I guess.
He's got the creepiest face. Let's be honest.
He really does.
He has the creepiest face ever.
He plays a perfect 1950s. I have too much power, and I want to exert that power on anybody.
Yeah. We've got Richard Jenkins, who plays Eliza's neighbor Giles. He's a closeted gay man in the 1960s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've got Octavia Spencer. Doug Jones plays the actual fish monster. So Doug Jones does a lot of these, I guess, suit, makeup, costume things for Guillermo Del Toro. He was Abe Sapien in Hellboy. He's done a bunch of these. He was like the Bye-Bye Man in that shitty movie that came out last year. I don't know. That's got to be a sweet acting gig outside of having to go through 3 hours of makeup every day. You don't have any lines.
At least 3 hours of makeup.
I was reading on it. They said 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a suit. It's not really makeup, right?
Oh, okay, that's true.
But I thought the practical effects in this were awesome. They did a very good job. Guillermo Del Toro is very well known for that. You know, you got like Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy, obviously, like I said. He's great at this, and I think he did an excellent job. Like we mentioned earlier, he won the Golden Globe for Best Director for this movie. So it's great. Do you guys want to rate it, and then we can get into a little bit of spoilers?
I will give it a 7 out of 10. I think there's extreme hype with this movie. I don't necessarily know that it's fulfilled the hype as I thought it would. I don't know if it's just because I've never really get into these weird sci-fi loving another creature type thing that a lot of sci-fi movies do when a human falls in love with a non-human, and I always just feel weird when I'm watching things like this, you know? But that's just me. Some people love it. They're like, love is love, whatever.
Shut the fuck up.
That's not
Not
me.
when it's a giant fish man.
I know, but that's how it is with this. There's a lot of people that are like, oh my God, he just loves her for her, you know, and love is love. And I get it. But at the same time, I wasn't blown away by this movie.
Can I be honest about something? I think this would have been a lot easier to believe.
If she didn't bang it?
No. If it was a dude and the fish monster was a woman, because a dude will fuck anything.
I guess you're right.
Yes.
I guess.
I think that would have made it a little more believable. Probably would have made the character, Eliza's character, a little less likable.
100% less likable.
And you know why I think I automatically think these things, and why I can't really get my head around when
Keep going. Fuck. We're going to keep recording over this.
why I can't really get my head around just a human being falling in love with something that's not a human. It all stems back to that movie Splice, I think I watched with you. It's a sci-fi movie that's extremely fucked up.
Oh, it's terrible too.
And this guy like cheats on his wife with this scientific...
And here
all right, we can't do this now.
go.
Jesus, there's about to be a gaggle of drunk women.
Oh my God.
Gaggle of drunk women.
Oh my God. Yo.
We're going to take a
I'd get up
short
and I'm like
recess.
in the, yeah.
I got Doritos.
Holy,
All right.
holy shit, what were we just talking
We're
about?
back after that fucking tornado just tore through my living room. Drunk Erica showed up with her drunk friends.
And they were brunching all day.
Oh my God, they brunched so hard.
God.
All right.
And they're locked in a room, but you can still clearly hear them.
Yes, they do not have indoor voices. I don't really understand this, but they will all claim that they do not yell.
They laugh loudly, though. And they speak loudly, but they're not yelling.
Yo, why don't you pull that mic closer to you?
Maybe you should have them yell into it. I like to lean back, Fat Joe style.
Right. So back to The Shape of Water. We were about to give it our rating. I'm going to give this a 7. I agree with Mark. It's good. It was a little bit overhyped. Won a ton of Golden Globes. Guillermo Del Toro, obviously, I think deserved this Golden Globe, but we'll see how it fares at the Oscars. Brick, what's your rating?
I'm going to give this an 8.5. I really enjoyed it, actually, because I thought the director, which he won Best Director for a reason, I thought everything in this movie was well directed. I'll just kill myself now. I can't get over the fact that people are yelling in the background. I'm a one-track mind. But I thought it was like the score of it was like whimsical and like lighthearted, and they kept it. I'm a sucker for a period piece as well. So like
I know. I was going to bring that up.
Oh yeah, and they leaned into like the racism and the stereotypical like class system that I thought helped the movie progress, and I think they did a really nice job overall. I will get to that point. Other stuff in spoilers. I
The
suppose.
score had like a French feel to it, didn't it?
A little bit,
kind
yeah.
of French type music.
It did. It was very like the European with like was there an accordion
Accordions and
involved?
everything,
I
yeah.
thought when she was like on the bus and she was like whistling along with the tune, I thought it was like a very happy-go-lucky kind of feel to it, which is odd because of the scene that they were setting too. Was like a dark.
And it is a
scientific-
rated R movie, you know.
Yeah.
And they take full advantage of that. Guillermo did. I
Agreed.
mean, like within the first 5 minutes, she's naked and masturbating in a tub.
Yeah,
For
literally.
some unknown reason, but yeah.
Well, she was lonely. It's
her daily routine.
It's her daily routine. She's a very scheduled individual. I fell in love with Eliza right after the fact that she was watching the tap dancing scene with
from Annie,
who's the guy who is with her?
Giles.
He's like, yeah, this is like super hard and advanced like dance move. And then as she leaves the building, she like does the dance move just like as she's doing it nonchalantly.
Yeah.
And it's like that just shows how good of a listener she is, and like it also just shows like the scene after that, she's getting free movie tickets, like, and her coworkers like helping her cut the line to sign in. And just like everyone had her back because she's just like a nice person, and just you could get that vibe from the beginning, and it carries throughout the entire movie.
So you like the setup? Got it.
But yeah, I thought it was 8.5 was a low rating for me. I probably might have even gone a little higher.
Better than Jumanji?
And that's a Fast and Furious scale in my
Is this on
opinion.
the-
This is not a Fast and Furious scale movie. This is winner of a Golden Globe for Best Director. So
I'm sorry. Are you saying that
8.5.
Jumanji doesn't deserve a Golden Globe?
did it get one? I only watched the part with Oprah.
That's not what I asked you.
Probably for
Deserves a Silver Globe.
Best rock movie of the year?
yeah. No, I wouldn't have given it a Golden Globe, but I definitely enjoyed. I guess
You have to think about that for a minute.
I did. I try to think of what Jumanji was even about, but
It was
it's
about
a
nothing.
good, fun experience at the movies. Like that's what you want from a comedy.
This is not Jumanji Cast. We're going to go on now.
Yes.
All right.
agreed.
From here on out, we're going to spoil it for a little bit. Make sure you tune in at the end. We'll do our recommendations for the week. I will put the timestamps in the show notes. Okay. So I was really confused about how she was going to bang this fish at first.
I was like super not about that. I was like, you guys kept calling it a fish porno, and I was the first to watch it. 3/4 of the movie, I was like, damn, I'm actually really enjoying this movie. I'm like a little off put that they keep calling this a fucking fish porno. Like that's not giving this movie justice. Guillermo Del Toro deserves better. And then as the next scene, she unrobes and bangs this fish in a shower, and I'm like, fuck, it was
God,
actually too on
An
point.
amphibian man. Let's get it correct.
Amphibian man.
Do amphibians have gills on their neck?
I don't know, but he has a
I'm going to call this a fish man.
one. She explains where his penis is because he clearly does not have a penis
He
when you
is
see him.
smooth as a Ken doll in the front. And I'm really happy that they did because that would have been a gaping plot hole.
Let's
And I
just
would
say-
have been mad about that.
Let's just say there's a gill down there that opens up, and
Which is very
out
weird.
comes his amphibian penis.
What did
But
you
enough
think-
about that?
The fact that she was mute.
I thought, I mean, it served a purpose. in the end. I think there's a payoff there.
Because of the reason that she likes this fish is because of the way they communicate is different than everybody else's.
And I think it was useful to make her a little bit more likable. You can root for her because she's, she's at a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, a little bit, because she can still communicate and she can't talk. But I also love the callback to the amphibian actually has supernatural powers. Do we get into this right now, or do I wait?
Yeah, go ahead. And we're spoiling it. It's just weird that they're very ill-defined. I guess he can heal people.
I liked that it was a little ill-defined because it is that mysterious, like, oh, the Amazon considered this guy to be a god, and they worshipped him like that. And then you find out later that Giles was rubbing the head of the amphibian man, and all of a sudden he starts to gain hair back, and it's just like, oh shit, let me rub your head more. I want more hair, man. And just like he has unexplained powers that I thought were interesting in that regard.
Did that feel forced to you, the hair thing? Because they didn't really need it.
No, I thought
they made a point like to talk about his hairpiece and shit.
I think they were just trying to be funny. There was like a lot of comical parts in the movie that I found were like they fit in well with like the directing. It wasn't meant to be super funny, but like the way that the scene was set up and the way that they like delivered the comedy, it like landed for me. I
think I just didn't like Giles.
I liked Giles.
He just seemed really stupid. Like he did stupid things.
He just reminded me of the dad from Step Brother. Whenever I see Mac now, I just think of the Step Brother dad.
Yeah, when he freaks out, I always just think about him pretending to be a raptor when he was like 17.
Oh, yeah.
I lost it. But he's good at freaking out. There was a lot of like subtle humor. Like even in the beginning.
Yeah, I agree.
The guy's putting a Mardi Gras to the sign at the movie theater, and he was like, no, it's 2 S's, Mardi Gras. So just like, that's a stupid thing to do, but he's clearly wrong. But just yelling at the guy. They had a ton of those.
Can we talk about the actual interaction when she's getting to know, what are we going to call this? Fish monster?
Amphibian man.
Amphibian man.
No,
We established this 3 times.
So she's getting to know this fish monster.
He's not a monster.
She just finished mopping up a room full of blood, and she picked up some dude's fingers, and the fish monster tore these fingers off. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to go offer him a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah. You know why they were 2 peas in a pod right here? It was because she was cold-blooded.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Get out.
I know you like that one. All right, I'll see you guys later.
I just thought that was a little kind of dumb. I don't really know how they could have set it up better, but...
Yeah, they made the science government secret facility, like, they took it from the perspective of, like, the help, which was like, oh, yeah, what the hell goes on in this place? This is a crazy
Nobody knows.
lab.
Yeah.
And that, like, them just, like, having the 1950s, like, oh, we don't know what's going on. We're going to play dumb the entire time. That was the setup, I feel.
Well, I think it wouldn't have worked in modern day. It has to be 50s, 60s Red Scare. You know, the Russians are coming to get us, for people to keep their head down and not blab about everything.
True.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think that worked. I think that was a good choice.
Agreed. And there was a point where Michael Shannon was like, all right, we need to kill this thing and dissect it. And like the general was like, all right, that's a good idea. Let's do it. And then the scientist was working for the Russians apparently, or like had
he was
a
like
gig with them.
Dual agent.
And then as he was talking with the Russians, I was like, oh man, am I seriously going to be rooting for the Russians for them to steal this guy? And then the Russians had an even worse example or worse reason to kill this thing. They're like, yeah, as long as the Americans don't have it, we don't care, just kill it. And I was like, okay, man, you guys are even worse than the Americans. Fuck it, I'm back to rooting for just the help.
That's a good point. I actually didn't think about that, but if they had been just trying to steal it, you would have been rooting for the Russians. So
yeah,
that's actually really good writing.
No kidding. I was blown away by it.
Good
but then
point.
they fixed it right away by being like, yeah, we're gonna kill it because we just don't want the Americans to have that technology. I was like, okay,
Wow.
I'm good for you to not win it either.
So I don't understand this. They got fish monster from the Amazon River, but she needs to put him in salt water.
I don't know.
That didn't make any sense.
There was a lot of questionable scenes.
Look, we're watching a movie about a girl that fucks a fish monster. Like, it doesn't have
I
to be
hate
totally
the fact
realistic.
that that's what it's boiling down to, but it is what it is, man. She fucking bangs it not once but twice.
The truth is the truth, man.
Yeah.
And the whole scene with them in the bathroom when they fill it with water is just so ridiculous.
There was a lot of non-believable scenes and a lot of scenes where I was like, why would you do that? The scene in the bathroom, there's no way that whole bathroom filled up with water and was just gently leaking out water and didn't just fall apart.
Yeah, but that's the part of like the whimsical aspect that they the atmosphere that I thought they brought into the movie itself. With the music and like, oh, this is all make-believe. This is basically a rated R Disney movie that like there's a princess that they explain it all in the very beginning. The narration explains the entire story in the first 2 sentences. They've set the scene perfectly and tell you exactly what happened in the very beginning, which is like perfect foreshadowing. And it's just a setup for a Disney movie. And
I would argue that that's kind of the telltale sign of good stories. You know the story, and it doesn't matter because you're still interested.
True.
But I would argue that I'm okay suspending my disbelief to see Fish Monster come fuck this girl, but scenes like the bathroom scene are what takes me out of it. I can suspend disbelief to a point, but then I'm like, well, this is just unnecessary. It didn't have to be there, and it just makes me feel like this is wrong. And I think that's why this wasn't better for me. And that wasn't the only scene. I'm not just going to point at that one scene and say that was dumb, but like she's naive. Giles is kind of stupid.
Giles, there were many instances where I was getting frustrated with what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like when he was trying to get his artwork, where he was trying to basically get a job with his artwork. And it was clear that the guy wasn't interested. And he kept going back.
It was his former company.
When he made the pass on the guy at the diner that looked like he was 22, like, okay, the guy's going to really be okay with that.
Got 35.
And it's the 1960s.
Yeah.
And at the end, when we're doing spoilers, right?
Yeah.
When the amphibian man, the fish monster, gets shot, and then he's on the ground. And then he gets up and he bangs what's his name in the face with
Michael Shannon
with the 2x4 and doesn't even take his gun away from him.
Yeah,
there's so many things he does where I'm just getting frustrated with. But you come to realize that he is kind of like a coward in the whole movie, and he is very timid on everything that they're doing. And obviously because the whole Russian scare and everything going on, and they're trying to steal a scientific experiment from a government facility, so.
He's an artist who's quietly been disgraced and just like lost his mind, and the only person who helps him is Eliza, the sweetheart. And then he's trying to like reassemble his life, and that's when Eliza goes in and pleads with him to help her escape this amphibian man. And
fish monster.
He's trying to get his life together, and he can't like derail it for her for this fucking fake fish man. And
I thought that was a really powerful scene, though.
Agreed.
It
that's what I'm
lended
saying.
to how passionate Eliza was and how good of a friend she is with Giles, and I thought that was really well done.
Same. I like that scene. I thought it definitely brought some power to the movie.
I really do think the strength of this movie, though, was Michael Shannon as the villain.
Yes.
He is infinitely hateable. And
so much.
He does
hateable.
such a good job. He's so believable. He's a terrible person. He's got a weird home life. He's got these weird passions.
Can we talk about how he was the one who got his fingers chopped off by the beast? And
Fish monster.
We've called it like 8 different names on this podcast.
Eliza
so far.
finds those fingers, brings them back to him, and he gets some soda on his hand.
And he's mad because they have mustard on him.
At first, I thought he was going to turn into a fish monster. That's what I started thinking, but then I just realized they're just extremely infected, non-functioning fingers that he should just get rid of.
But he was banging his wife, and then he was like rubbing his dead fingers on her face, and she was like, "Yo, you're bleeding on my face," and he's like, "Shh, be quiet, silence." And I was like, "Dude, I hope this isn't foreshadowing to him like raping Eliza," because she's.
I thought you were going to say the fish monster.
No, no, I just thought it was Eliza because he was claiming silence, and he was like, and she couldn't. She's a mute, so.
He did get weirdly rapey with her.
He made the advance, and she was like, "No, not having this," but in less words.
Given that he's said a lot of terrible things throughout the whole movie, some of the things he said were the funniest parts of the whole movie. Like when he was waiting in the car and he was spying on the professor, waiting him to come out of his home and follow him because he knew something was going on, and he had a hunch that he was working with the Russians or whatever. He's sitting in the car and he goes, "There's Professor Shitbird." Isn't that what he said? There's
perfect
Professor
one-liners.
Shitbird. He just had some one-liners that were pretty hilarious that I found funny.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
There were a
shit
bunch
like that. I'm like, oh my God, you're the most hateable human ever.
He was absolutely perfect in this role.
There were quietly a bunch of good one-liners in there that like you didn't expect to be said. Just like, "Oh, cornflakes. Cornflakes were invented to prevent masturbation."
It's a true story.
That didn't work.
Super bland.
Really? That didn't work. Just like a lot of stupid lines like that. And like, who was her friend?
Octavia Spencer. Zelda.
She
was really good in this too.
She was very funny. She had some great lines. Just like about like a maid talking to someone who's mute, who's just like gonna listen no matter what, and she's just like rants in her mind. It was I loved all those.
I had a real problem with what a pussy her husband was though.
Yeah.
He was a coward.
He was a huge coward, and he was like a big dude.
Yeah, but it's like Michael Shannon kind of went in there and alphaed the fuck out of him.
Oh, he also went in there and ripped off his infected finger.
Yeah, that's the psychoest thing you could ever do is rip off your fingers in front of somebody and be like, I don't need these anymore. Also, you're coming with me.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to forget about that for a long time.
Yeah, that's some psycho shit. Amazing.
I don't really know what else to say about this. I think the acting was excellent. The writing was perfect. Even the practical effects, like I said, were awesome. I think this is a really solid all-around movie.
Yeah, and you gave it what? A 7.5?
I gave it a 7, but now that I'm thinking about it, I struggle because, like I said, there are certain scenes that kind of took me out of it. I think this is like a 7.5. It's definitely worth the watch.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with my 8.5. I found it to be a very enjoyable movie.
How do you think Octavia Spencer felt about being the help again in this movie?
She's typecast now.
I don't think she's typecast, but yeah, you're right.
yeah.
She was the main character in The Help.
I know.
Yeah, no, I
That's
know.
why
And
really
she's
consider-
won an Oscar for playing roles.
I know.
Like that.
She's
She's a great
at
actress.
it.
She plays that role so well that she is perfect for
Yeah,
it.
she's put on great performances, but still, it's
Yeah,
like,
I would like to see her in something a little more modern.
She was in Hidden Figures, and that was also
It's
a
pretty
movie
much the
taken
same
in the
thing.
1960s
Yeah.
where she wasn't given any credit for the space launch they did or whatever happened with NASA. But
You guys got anything else on this?
visuals are great too.
The
Yeah, they
visuals
really were.
visuals were solid.
I think the Amphibian Man was really well put together, and I'm assuming
Fish Monster.
No, I'm assuming part of it was CGI as well as a suit.
Only like the glowing part.
Okay, you think that was
But
all a suit? They didn't.
Guillermo Del
enhance
Toro
it at
is
all.
famously like practical effects.
Okay.
All of Hellboy was that way. Pan's Labyrinth is all that way, and I love it. The only one Pacific Rim obviously wasn't because they weren't going to build giant robots, but
That fight in the ocean. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's just like his MO,
Yeah.
and he's really good at it. And
Really
I
good at
love
it.
his monster films. I love him. If you listen to an interview with him, he's just so on the level. He says exactly what he's thinking, and he's hilarious. He's got
He's
this
humble,
really
too.
thick Spanish accent.
Super thick.
He's great. I hope he gets a ton more movies. I fucking love his
I
stuff.
agree. I also loved his speech at the Golden Globes because he just like wasn't having him getting the wrap it up music.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm saying thanks, bitch. Give me this moment.
Guy says what he's thinking.
Took me 25 years. I'm not going to just get off the stage now. Nope. Cut that music.
I
Peace.
respect the shit out of that.
That's a power move.
All right, so that's The Shape of Water. It sounds like we got a pretty resounding recommendation. Speaking of which, Brick, you got a recommendation for the week?
3 Billboards. Fantastic. It
You would not
deserves
shut up about this.
I watched it directly after The Shape of Water. I liked The Shape of Water a lot, and then I saw this movie, and I was like, there were like, oh my god moments, and I was like, oh, at the TV. Even so, considering I double featured it, and I still was super engaged in this movie, and it's super good. You need to see it if you like dark comedy, but also like just a great story overall. Get this. Acting was fantastic. I'm surprised the lead mom in that movie did not. I don't know if she got any awards, but she
did. I think she won for
She
Best
should
Actress.
She should have cleaned up because she dominated.
Yeah, it is as of right now, and it's hard to say that the Golden Globes are a leading indicator for the Oscars, but based on how many Golden Globes it won, I'm gonna say this is probably a shoe-in for Best Picture.
You guys gotta go. You guys gotta see this movie.
I do. I've
Just
been
watch
meaning
it.
to. I don't know. Her name is Frances McDormand, by the way, and she did win Best Actress, but
Fantastic. She deserved it. She was badass. She was a badass in that movie.
and I do love dark comedies.
You're gonna get a kick out of this one.
Good. That said, I watched a TV show on Netflix called The End of the Fucking World.
I started watching that. I couldn't get into it.
It's supposed to be a dark comedy. It's supposed to be like a dark British comedy.
Yeah.
And I actually wrote a Hot and Streamy article, so you'll get a full review there. Boy, it's really hard to recommend because it's one of those that tries really hard to be dark, but it's supposed to be funny, but it's just not. There's no jokes.
Ooh,
Yeah, so I don't know.
mislabeled.
Maybe if you're
That's
really
why
into
I was
dark
wa-
stuff,
I was watching it and I once again I saw the first episode and I was like, nothing's landing for me. This might
No.
be too dark.
I don't know, and it's getting rave reviews. So I don't know. Check out my article coming up this week. I'll be posting that probably Tuesday. But
What is hot and streamy exactly, Ryan?
Hot and Streamy is my monthly article about streaming options. I don't know why I'm talking all sexy into the microphone.
I like
Organic.
It,
It's an organic
Just
feel.
keep going. Keep it going.
The whole idea is like lesser known titles, stuff that maybe you haven't heard about. Just a quick review. You know, who's in it, what's it about, what I think of it, and whether or not I recommend it. It's very binary. Either watch it or don't, based on my recommendation. I don't like the whole, we do it for movies, but like, what does a 6 out of 10 mean? Like, how bored are you? Either you're going to watch it or you won't.
What scale is it on? Is it on a Fast and Furious scale, or is it in a on a Shape of Water scale?
I would say it's on a Jumanji scale.
Jumanji.
No, it's got to be a movie without The Rock. No. Anyways, my recommendation is check out that article. Mark?
My recommendation is also a Netflix series, I guess you would call it, that just was released a few weeks ago, I think. And that is Planet Earth 2. I loved Planet Earth, the original one that came out a few years back. One of the main reasons I love it is obviously some of the shots they get in Planet Earth are ridiculous. How close they get to the animals. And at some points it looks unrealistic how close they can get. It's like, are you really just CGIing this and just fucking with me? And secondly, David Attenborough. If I could have one person narrate my life, it would be him. A lot of people
really over Morgan Freeman.
A lot of people would say that. I love David Attenborough when he narrates things.
He does sound very sophisticated. It's the British accent, man.
He's awesome.
You can't beat that. It's so sophisticated.
He's awesome. And I will say, compared, people are like, okay, it's Planet Earth. What's different? Every show like this is like, oh my God, they're getting close, but they get so close where they like stated, they're like, we have never seen some of the creatures we're about to see in the series, and we've gotten closer than ever. And you're like, okay, well, what's closer than ever? And as you're watching it, you're like, holy shit.
You're like up a lizard's butt.
Seriously, it's ridiculous.
I have a friend who's in cinematography, and we were in a group chat about that exact conversation about Planet 2 Earth, about how like it's so much more cinematic, and he dives into all these details about the camera angles and how aggressive they were with like filming these animals, and you have to be like super close if you were to use those type of cameras. So they took Planet Earth 2 to the next level, is what I've heard. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard wonderful things. Like what you're saying.
They did. I was expecting just another Planet Earth with maybe some better quality, but the camera angles and everything they're doing is unreal. They actually put a camera on the back of an eagle.
Jesus.
They did a mountain episode.
GoPro, send it.
He also said he watched this on Shrooms. He's like, highly recommend that. He's like, he said this out loud to himself. He's like, hey man, he's just another one. He's just another guy out here trying to make it, referring to just a giraffe. He's just like, but either way, he still was talking about the cinematography. He's the man.
All right, I'll stop.
Did you
about
watch Cosmos?
I like Cosmos a lot. I love the
Neil
universe
deGrasse
and
Tyson.
other shit like that. Honestly, it's not because of Neil deGrasse Tyson. I will say for Planet Earth 2, David Attenborough, I love hearing him. I don't watch Cosmos, though, for him. I just enjoy the information you're getting from the show.
I did just see on the news, it came across the ticker that said they picked that up for season 2.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that too.
Cool.
I have 2 other recommendations that are not recommendations because I have not seen them yet, but things that I'm looking forward to seeing. One of them was, what's that? I think I just heard Amanda yell.
You just hear drunk women yelling in the bathroom.
No, one of them was a Carl Pilkington show that's going to be a spinoff. That's again a British comedy that does just observational humor. I believe it's called Enough of It, or Sick. It's called Sick of It, and he just rants about how he's sick of a bunch of shit, and it's hilarious, guaranteed.
By the way, I did watch that. Carl predicts Black Mirror.
Spot on.
Pretty fucking spot on. Man.
And this was like years ago. He made these stupid, dumb movies that Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant were like, this will never get
all
made.
Over him, and he's who's laughing now?
Not Carl. He didn't make it. He was like, fuck, this was a great idea. I didn't capitalize on. But there's another one. What's the Amazon show that just came out that's supposed to be like Black Mirror?
Fabulous Miss Maisel. Oh no, you're talking about Electric Dreams?
Yeah.
Something along that lines.
Yep.
That's something I really want to see with, I think Steve Buscemi's in it. There's a bunch
it
of
has
people.
Steve Buscemi, Terrence Howard. It's got a ton of people. And so this is based on the writings of Philip K. Dick, who wrote Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is the base material for Blade Runner. He's like one of the kings of modern sci-fi, like shit like this. He's dead now, unfortunately, but he's written a ton of short stories about this stuff. I can't wait for this. I think we should do an episode on this. I know. I just haven't got. I think it came out today.
Yeah,
either today or yesterday.
It came out yesterday because I was watching Shape of Water and I was like, ooh, kind of want to just check this out first.
The early ratings on it are pretty good. If this is anything like Black Mirror or just based on Philip K. Dick, I'm all in.
Yeah, there's also not much coming out. What do we got on the slate for next week? Mom and Dad?
Yes, I totally forgot about that.
Hell yeah, Mom and Dad.
Okay, I think it's releasing in theaters at the same time as it's coming out on digital. We should definitely watch this together and get super drunk.
I'm down.
And just shout out to Nicolas Cage being a psycho dad
just
the entire
yell
time.
with Nicolas Cage. While he's yelling, we're yelling too.
Yeah,
amazing. Also
awesome.
have the biggest quiet crush on Selma Blair. She's gorgeous.
She really is. She was great in Hellboy too. All right, I think that's about wrapping up. Jesus, what did I even just say?
I think that's about wrapping it up, I think is what you just said.
So we got Mom and Dad coming next week. That is a Nicolas Cage film that's coming out. That's going to be over the top. Of course, it's Nicolas Cage.
Hope so.
But I think overall that's all we have for this episode. We recommend, I would say for the most part, Shape of Water. So
Absolutely.
go ahead and go watch that, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Chumps out, motherfucker.
Come on. I've been so lonely, girl. I've been so sad and down. Couldn't understand why haters joked around. I wanted to be free with other creatures like me, and now I got my wish. Cause I know that I'm a gay fish, gay fish, gay fish, yo. Motherfucking gay fish, gay fish. I'm a fish, yo. Coming on a gay fish. It's alright, girl. Making love to other gay fish, gay fish. All those lonely nights at the grocery store, in the frozen fish aisle, feeling like a whore. Cause I wasn't being true, even though everyone said that I had to make a switch, gay fish. Now I know that I'm a gay fish, gay fish, yo. Motherfucking gay fish, I'm a fish, yo. Going on a gay fish, now where I belong, girl. Making love to other gay fish.
I used to be scared, denying who I was, acting straight, but then going out to the gay fish clubs, dancing with the marlins, making out with all the snappers. I'd take a salmon home and work that caudal fin for hours. But now I'm out and I'm free to love what I want, be it yellowfin or bass or them trout in Vermont. I slap that marlin ass, make that grouper butt shake. I'll come to your house and have an orgy in your motherfucking fish tank, fish tank.
Motherfucking gay fish, I'm a fish, yo. Going on a gay fish, now where I belong, girl. Making love to other gay fish. I really get around, I'm the slut of the sea. When I say I've got crabs, I mean it literally. I was eating dinner and just had to go down on that mackerel on the dish. Cause I'm the gayest of the gay fish. Motherfucking gay fish, I'm a fish, yo. Going on a gay fish, now where I belong, girl. But I got to settle down, I can't be a whore. I ain't gonna just sleep with any fish no more. I found me a lover, a brother who's a cross-dressing pike named Trish. And together we are gay fish, yo. Motherfucking gay fish, I'm a fish, yo. Going on a gay fish, now where I belong, girl. Making love to other gay fish.